May Allah's blessings lighten your way, strengthen your faith, and bring joy to your heart as you praise and serve Him today, tomorrow, and always. Many welcomes all and Hajj Mubarak. You are listening to Hajj FYIs from Saudi Arabia, where we will cover all the important information we should all keep in mind during this blessed time. Let's start off from square one and start off with what is Hajj. Hajj of the 5 pillars of Islam. Hajj is the 5th and final pillar. Every Muslim is expected and has an obligation to attend Hajj at least once in their lifetime. Hajj takes place in the last month of the Islamic calendar, Dhul Hijjah, from the 8th to the 12th. Hajjis is the name and optional titles that Muslims gain on completion of their Hajj journey, and some choose to formally add it to their name. Hajj rituals are performed over a period of 5 to 6 days. Before crossing the miqat boundary, Muslims are expected to enter a state of purity and dress in an appropriate clothing. This is known as the ihram. For men, the clothing is 2 pieces of plain white sheet that they use to wrap themselves, leaving the right shoulder exposed only. For women, they can choose to wear the white sheet or can dress in modest clothing of any color, leaving only their face and hands exposed. To enter the state of ihram, you must have performed your personal hygiene rituals, including clipping the nails, removing hair from under the armpits and navel, and have carried out ghusl or wudu if ghusl cannot be performed. Your intentions, your niyyah should be made at the miqat or close to it if you're traveling, and the intentions can't be spoken aloud or in your heart. Followed by reciting the talbiyah. Once all rituals have been completed, pilgrims enter the state of ihram and become known as muhrim. Now let's look into what in fact is special about Hajj. Hajj is the ultimate experience for devout Muslims. It's a chance to start afresh and celebrate the spirit of unity in Islam. Pilgrims are all required to perform the same rituals taught by Prophet Muhammad to remind them that they are all equal before God. And now, to cover more Hajj facts, let's look into the dress code. During Hajj, as for Umrah, men wear 2 sheets of white plain cloth to cover the upper and lower body, while women must wear modest clothes that cover their bodies to the ankle and scarves to cover their hair. The clothes are usually white, although there is no restrictions of color. On the first day of Hajj, Muslims perform Umrah, which includes Tawaf and Sa'i. The former involves circumambulating the Kaaba, the holiest site in Islam, built by Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail. At the Grand Mosque in Mecca, in the latter, pilgrims walk 7 times between 2 hills called Safa and Marwa in the mosque complex. After the Umrah, Muslims travel to Mina, a holy site southeast of Mecca. They travel there by a shuttle service and camp there in tents overnight. Mina, also known as the City of Tents, can host up to 3 million people. On the second day, pilgrims travel to Mount Arafat, 5 kilometers from Mecca, where the Prophet Muhammad delivered his last sermon. Then pilgrims spend the day praying at Arafat until sunset, then walk the 7 kilometers to the third holy site, Muzdalifah. There they perform the sunset and night prayers and spend the night praying under the open sky. On the third morning, the pilgrims gather pebbles and return to Mina for the stoning ceremony. They throw 7 pebbles each at Jamarat al-Aqaba, a stone monument that signifies the temptation of Satan between sunrise and sunset. Then the pilgrims' 3 concluding acts include sacrificing an animal to feed people in need, which can be done by purchasing a voucher, cutting or shaving their hair, and returning to Mecca for another Umrah. Most women cut a few strands of hair while men prefer to shave their heads. Will Hajj be open to international pilgrims? This year, only residents and citizens will perform the pilgrimage. 60,000 vaccinated pilgrims will be allowed into Mecca this season. Saudi Arabia has opened its borders for international travelers. During Ramadan, only vaccinated pilgrims were allowed to perform Umrah. Most pilgrims arrive at the airport in Jeddah, which is the closest city to Mecca. And now for more facts. The House of Kaaba, the holiest place on earth. The House of Allah Kaaba is the building in the center of Masjid al-Haram, built by the first human prophet Adam and renovated by Prophet Ibrahim and Prophet Ismail. As this cubical house is considered as the most sacred house on earth, the Muslims who come to perform Hajj or Umrah take 7 rounds in the anti-clockwise direction known as Tawaf. And now for more Hajj FYIs, what are the health protocols for the holy site? All employees working directly or indirectly during this Hajj this year must be inoculated. Foreign pilgrims will have to quarantine for 3 days on arrival. Authorities have specified procedures that must be followed at entry points within and before entering the country. These include verification of all health documents, including vaccination certification and visual screening procedures. And also, pilgrims will be divided into groups for transport to holy sites. All places of accommodation have COVID-19 health protocols in place to ensure social distancing and prevent overcrowding in rooms. Catering companies must ensure food is provided to pilgrims in their rooms to prevent people gathering for meals. Buffets will not be permitted in restaurants or hotels. When the pilgrims transfer to Arafat, bags will be sterilized and designated pathways lead out from the train station to help them navigate the holy site safely. Pilgrims will be assigned specific seats with an empty one in between to ensure social distancing protocols are followed. Pilgrims will be restricted to their accommodations in Arafat and Muzdalifah, meaning they cannot go to see friends or relatives staying in their hotels or compounds. Saudi health authorities said they will continue to assess and update the precautions as needed. And now for more Hajj FYIs. What is the Hajj Smart Card and how does it work? The Ministry of Hajj has introduced smart technology to facilitate Hajj rituals. These include a Hajj Smart Card system, which will enlist all approved Hajj pilgrims and link them to services and amenities, including access to cabs, transportation, hotel, cashless payments, terminals, and ATMs, and identify crowded spots at the holy sites in Mecca and Medina. The Hajj smart card is encrypted with a QR code that enables pilgrims to download the app on their smartphones. It contains every pilgrim's information, including medical and residential details, and provides access to facilities and camps. The card uses near-field communication technology, which makes it readable to kiosks to identify crowded spots throughout the sites and help guide lost pilgrims. Hajj takes place 2 months and 10 days after Ramadan ends, entering the Islamic month of Dhul Hijjah. The height of Hajj corresponds with the major Islamic holy day Eid al-Adha, which commemorates Ibrahim's readiness to sacrifice his son on divine order. The pilgrimage conducted over 5 days include numerous detailed rituals, including wearing a special garment that symbolizes human equality and unity before God, a circular counterclockwise precision around the Kaaba, and symbolic stoning of evil. And the Kaaba, a cube-shaped structure draped in black silk, is the most sacred shrine of Islam and the chief goal of the pilgrimage. There is a black stone enclosed in a silver ring in the eastern corner of the Kaaba. Muslims believe that the stone was given to Ibrahim by the angel Jibreel. Participants touch or kiss the stone to end the ceremony around the Kaaba. People who have completed the pilgrimage may add the phrase "to al-Hajj" or "Hajji pilgrim" to their name. Now let's have a rundown of all the Hajj facts we have gathered so far. Let's start from square one once again and start off with what is Hajj. Hajj is one of the 5 pillars of Islam. Hajj is the 5th and final pillar. Every Muslim is expected and has an obligation to attend Hajj at least once in their lifetime. Hajj takes place in the last month of the Islamic calendar, Dhul Hijjah, from the 8th to the 12th. Hajjis is the name and optional titles that Muslims gain on completion for their Hajj journey, and some choose to formally add it to their name. Hajj rituals are performed over a period of 5 to 6 days. And as for preparation, as we said before, is that before crossing the miqat boundary, Muslims are expected to enter a state of purity and dress in appropriate clothing. As we said before, it's known as ihram, and for men, the clothing is a two-piece plain white sheet that they use to wrap themselves, leaving only the right shoulder exposed. As we said before, for women, they can choose to wear the white sheet or can dress in modest clothing of any color, leaving only their face and hands exposed. A very important Hajj fact to keep in mind is that to enter the state of Ihram, you must have performed your personal hygiene rituals, including clipping the nails, removing hair from under the armpits, and have carried out ghusl or wudu if ghusl cannot be performed. Once again, may Allah's blessing light your way, strengthen your faith, and bring joy to your heart as you praise and serve Him today, tomorrow, and always. You have just listened to Hajj FYIs with SRFM, and we hope you a blessed Hajj.